Imagine being the go-to notary in your area with people wrapped around the corner and your phone is just ringing off the hook with people begging you to take their money. Well, today's episode, we're going to be discussing the 5 power moves that's going to take your business to the next level for you to dominate the competition and make the money that you deserve. Stay tuned. Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo. And you already know what it is, man. You rocking with the best. You heard? I am joined by the team, y'all. Y'all see the team.
What's up?
Got my brother out there in Oakland, California, TEKK AMAKU. Shout out to TEKK. What up, TEKK?
Hey, what's up, man? You see, I got the handcuffs on today.
What the hell you got handcuffs on, bro?
Because we're going to unhandcuff some people today. We're going to let them know how to take off the chains so that they can free themselves.
That's very animated, brother. You the Busta Rhymes in this joint. And we have our beautiful Dawn Velez out there in Florida. How are you today, Dawn?
I'm doing wonderful, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's warmer out there than here in Chicago.
I agree.
We are at a wind chill of 14 below.
Oh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay, never mind. I'm at 45. Never mind. You won.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They actually canceled school because it was so cold yesterday.
Geez.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's how serious it is. So we're going to be talking about how notaries can stand out in this competitive industry. And I guess it would be competitive if you view it that way, but I put competitive just for competitive sake, I guess. And I'd like to start somewhere, right? I actually have the cues and slides ready. Shout out to LaShonda. How you doing, LaShonda, out there in Jersey? She says, good day, everyone.
Good day.
Good day.
Always a pleasure. We're going to be having LaShonda on the Notary War Room.
Hey.
You're going to be a guest.
Go.
So I'm excited about that. We got Natural Jesse. Is that Jazzy? Is that Jazz? Jazz, is that you? Tell me. Natural Jesse, hello all. So yeah, we're gonna get a crack in how can we stand out in this notary industry. So let me start off with this first slide, and then you guys can go ahead and elaborate and tell me what you think about this, right? First slide. Build your personal brand. In a world full of notaries, we need to stand out. Build a personal brand that reflects trust, reliability, and professionalism. What say you? Let's start, ladies first. What do you say about that, Dawn? Building a personal brand.
I think it's important to build a personal brand. You have to present yourself a certain way, and it should be, of course, professional. I'll speak from how I run Notary Nation.
Mhm.
So I don't look left or right. I literally have blinders on, and I just focus on trying to make my brand better. So to me, having the basics such as your hex codes, you'd be surprised how many people don't even know what that is.
Mhm.
Having a standard package, everything matching across the board. From there, in terms of like marketing and different things like that, and just keeping everything kind of cohesive, just to make yourself look professional. And then after that, the rest is pretty much up to you and how you carry yourself and how you present yourself out there in the field.
Do you think having a personal brand in the notary industry is important?
I mean, it's important for business, period. You know, a lot of people don't set their notary business up as an actual business, even if they go and get their LLC or whatever they're going to file as. They don't use payment processors. They don't have like professional things in place.
Okay.
They don't have an SOP in place. It's not being ran like, it's just like, if I get a call, I may answer the phone, I may not. If I get a call, I may take the job, I may not. And I think that's because it's more, and this is not, of course, this is not everyone. I'm just speaking for the ones that it applies to. And in those scenarios, it's more of like a side hustle versus their actual, you know, income full time. And so I think it's important, yes, that you have a brand, that you're consistent across your brand, but you are the brand. So your level of professionalism, how you carry yourself in different areas, things like that is what matters.
What say you, TEKK?
For notaries specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the notary war room, or we're not in the war room. But listen,
well, the profits are up live. Profits are up.
Give us free, TEKK.
No, that is wild, dude. This dude got handcuffs. Like, yeah, you took it to a whole nother level, brother.
Because notaries are handcuffing themselves.
Okay, speak on that. How are they handcuffing themselves?
If I call 5 people, and by the way, I'm a notary for the record, so I know what a quality notary looks like. I know what I'm looking for because we're talking about personal brand, aren't we? If I'm going to send out business and I wouldn't show up like that, then I don't want this person to reflect negatively what my business looks like. So, for example, there's somebody who calls from the train station and they need a notary because they're getting ready to go out of town. Or you have a professional like a carpenter, somebody who's a executive in their union, and they want you to travel to their location. On one hand, the person at the train station may be pressed for time, is urgent. I need to leave right now, and I need someone to come right now. And then you tell them that it costs $100. And then the first thing that they say is, oh, I can't pay $100. I don't want to, it's not that important anymore. In contrast, you have the person who's an executive at the carpenters union. You tell them, same scenario. We need you to come right now. Can you please show up? We have an executive and he needs to sign a proof of life form, a declaration of identity, whatever it is. All right, this is not real estate related stuff. And then you tell them it's $170, and then they say, okay, can you come here in 15 minutes or 30 minutes? These are completely different. See, these scenarios, no matter what the customer is looking for, at the end of the day, they only need one thing, which is a signature and a stamp. You have a commission, presumably. You can help them. Uncuff yourself. Take the handcuffs off. Help the person with exactly what they need. And if that's your brand, if that's the message I want to send, if that's the impression that I'm giving, that this is, you call us and we come. That's the brand. You want us to come in 10 minutes, we'll be there in 10 minutes. You want us to be there tomorrow at Thursday at 3:15, then we can come tomorrow at 3:15. And that's what we stand on. That's the brand. That's the message that gets delivered every time there's an interaction with a customer. So that's my brand right there. My brand is, you call us, we come. And people are looking for that. That's reliability. That's confirmation. That's what customers are looking for. And that's the reason why it's easy to sell. You know, all the product knowledge in the world means nothing if you can't sell it. And for notaries, you can be as smart, you can be as professional, and you have all the experience in the world. But if you can't sell it, you don't know how to convey your brand's message, which is, for us, is we're available when you need us. We send that message through every communication. If you can't convey that message, if you can't send that message from your brand to your customer or to your potential customer, then you'll be handcuffed. So you gotta take off the handcuffs. You know?
So let me ask you this: would that fall more under your company brand, or would that be more of the personal brand?
Yeah, Yeah, that is a company brand. It's a company brand, but the company is, takes off after my personality.
Okay. I like that.
In keeping with that, I like that too. In keeping with that too, the handcuffs too are on the mind. And because you can't see past your own limits, or you putting your own, you can't take the shackles off of your mind. You can't enhance your thinking. You can't learn something new. You can't take chances or take risks. And I feel like they're definitely handcuffing themselves when it comes to that side as well. Even especially when it comes to pricing. I actually literally told one notary, because she was so hell bent on, well, Florida charges $10. You can't pay more than $10. And I was just flat out like, I don't work for the state of Florida. I work for myself. So that $10 is definitely built into what my rate is. But, people just sometimes, I hate to use the term educated fool, but I mean, sometimes people just know so much and then you really don't know anything because you are not willing to learn. You're not willing to say, you know what? There may be another way. Let me try this way. They rather just stay handcuffed in the mind as well. So
LaShonda had a great question. She said, "Is brand and mission the same thing?"
no. Your mission is what you stand for. It's who you are. It's what you want to, the direction that you feel you should go. And so, for an example, your mission could be like what TEKK said: whenever you call, we show up. Your mission could be, it could be a whole statement, a mission statement. It could be a whole thing. Where to me, your brand is more of like, your social media, your messaging, your colors, different things of that nature. That's just my opinion. And then the mission is, what you set out to do, what your company sets out to accomplish.
Yeah, I agree with you. I hear. Did you guys hear that in the background?
No.
Yeah, I hear it.
You do? Let me
I
try to
hear you.
tone it down some. Damn. Sorry about the feedback. So I was thinking like the personal brand. See, like going outward, I'm thinking people will be attracted to you. Like they'll be attracted to TEKK. They'll be attracted to Dawn. They'll be attracted to me. They're not necessarily attracted to a company per se, right?
Mhm.
They'll buy products from that company. They'll buy services from that company, but they'll actually follow the actual person, like a Elon Musk. No matter what Elon Musk comes out with, he's going to bring a following with him.
Mhm.
Kevin Hart, if he comes out with something, people are going to follow his tequila or his movies. Same thing with Denzel Washington. So the personal brand, showing your personality and showing how you do things, that it does take the handcuffs off you, but it also gives you the freedom to, I guess, show some vulnerability where your company will just show nothing but highlights. It's like an Instagram reel. It's just nothing but
Mhm.
beautiful things when it comes to showing the company. But you can relate to the actual person, the CEO of the company. I think of Apple sometimes. Like people purchase Apple products a lot because of what Steve Jobs did.
Mhm.
So the personal brand is really crucial. It's something that you could build over time. And let's just say you do decide to get out of the notary business and go into the real estate business. The people that were rocking with you in the notary business would be like, well, heck, I want to learn from you. You haven't steered me wrong yet.
Mhm.
So let's rock and roll with that. So let's
But,
go into
but I mean,
tip
just
number
kind of
2.
add though, just to just to finish that up, if I
Yeah.
can. You could, for notaries, right? Because that's our primary audience here.
Mhm.
You could take that same concept and apply that to your notary business right now. Granted, you do have a notary business, right? If that's in fact what you have. So you have clients you have customers, and you have supporters. Right? You have clients, you have customers, and you have supporters. So what you were describing, Tiger, is a supporter, right? This person purchases from you because of you, right?
Mhm.
They like you as a person. It's not, listen, they can go to the UPS store. They really could. They don't have to go. They can go to the bank. Not everything, right? But if somebody's looking for a notary, if they looked hard enough, they could probably find it cheaper. They could probably find it a little bit less than what you charge. But the supporter, so a client, think about it this way: a client is somebody, or maybe put it this way, a customer rather. A customer is somebody, they're just looking for the cheapest price. No matter what, they're looking for furniture, they're looking for tires, looking for a hairdresser. They're just looking for the cheapest price. That's who they're gonna go with. That's a customer. The client, that person, yeah. Let's say you have an intersection, and there's on on two ends of the intersection, there's somebody got the tires for $99, 4 sets. That person, they got it for same price, $99, 4 sets, but they can't install the tires until later. I went to that business for the last 5 years, but the one time that they do me wrong, the one time that they inconvenience me, I'm ready to jump ship. And there's usually with the client, the client relationship, there's a beginning and there's an end. There's a start point and there's an end point. You've hired this person, this contractor, to come do work for you, and then when they're done, they're done. But the supporter, this is what we should be striving to be building, to be honest. And you can do this very easily in the notary business. You can build supporters. I mean, these are people who, it don't matter if you raise your price. Tiger, how many times have you raised your price up and the person still went to you?
All the time.
See, that's a supporter. Don, how many times have you been late for an appointment and the person still booked appointments for the future? They became repeat clients, even if you were late or you kind of, maybe you messed up on a signature.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's a supporter. That person, no matter what goes on with your notary business, whether you have an increase in your price, maybe you screwed up on a signature, maybe you were late, but that person, regardless, they still purchased from you and bought from you time after time after time, because you could, that's what we should all be striving to build. And that's when you start developing that real following. And the notary business is prime for that. Anybody can be a supporter. These people can be lifelong clients. So you want to definitely differentiate those three.
What I find as far as like supporters, because a lot of clients that we see don't need us repeatedly. They just need something handled for the day. It could be just, I just need this affidavit for my job. I just need this tattoo permission done for my child or something, you know. But when you do run across those ones who you can turn into, or who already are corporate clients, when they come to you, this is a great example of what TEKK is talking about in terms of a supporter, because that corporate client will only use you. They will only, you're their notary. So when they need something, they need an apostille, whatever, they're going to call you and only you. So that's where you do have the opportunity to build relationships. You have to be able to read the room. So from the very first phone call that you get, to determining what it is that they need. And if you find that it's someone who has something that's going to be kind of ongoing, or multiples like estate documents or something along those lines, you definitely want to convert that person into like what TEKK is saying and make them a supporter.
That's great answers. Great answers. Okay, so let's go on to number 2 on what allows you to stand out in a competitive notary industry. So number 2 is networking. Networking is non-negotiable. Attend local business events. You actually do a lot of these events, Dawn. Join professional groups and collaborate with real estate agents, lawyers, and other professionals. Your network is your net worth. What say you, TEKK?
Yeah. First of all, I don't do any marketing whatsoever. I do zero. I'm the zero marketing notary. I know that there are people out there who are like specialize in marketing. I'm the zero marketing notary. I do zero marketing. Well, damn, how do you do that? Listen, if people are looking for notaries, guess what they're going to do? This is the behavior of the customers. They look for notaries, don't they? They go to other notaries. They're not going to necessarily message boards, or they're not going to these ancillary type of events. You know, they're not going to go to a real estate convention or a housing and garden symposium to look for a notary. They're not. If a notary is looking for customers, then I will go to other notaries because that's where clients are going to. So if I'm looking for a way to improve my network, then you got to go to other notaries, and that's it. That's it. So a practical way that anybody can really do this is to call other notaries straight up. And at this point, the 100% way to do this, 100% never fail way, have some business to give to that notary. So you're essentially putting money into this person's pocket. Let's try to say because you're tech. You put money, so this has never failed, right? I've got a deal that goes in for a proof of life form, one signature. I call another notary and I say, "Are you available to do this?" And then you're putting money into this person's pocket. You're helping them accomplish something that they're trying to accomplish by helping them with their business, helping them with some income, and at the same time, you build a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only marketing that I'll ever do. That's the only type of outreach, cold outreach. Business cards, no, nah, none of that. I'll call the person and say, "Listen, I got $75 for you. You want it?" And they're like, "Yes." Who are you? Are you Santa Claus? Like, yes. Merry Christmas.
Now, Dawn, you do a lot of networking events out there in Florida. How important is it when you're for notaries to network with other businesses, notaries, and such?
Well, I don't do a lot. I do like a couple of year that I will host, and then I don't really attend a lot either. But I feel it's important. It's definitely important, and for the reasons that TEKK said. Initially, when I started doing classes, it was so I could get to know some of the notaries that are in my area, and especially over near in my office area. And that is because, my idea was to be able to do exactly what TEKK said and contact someone, right, and have them handle business that I wouldn't be available to handle. It turns out that because I started that in 21, and so now I only have just like a select few for my general area. And we work very well together. Everything is cool. We got bilingual. We got it all. So, I mean, definitely networking is important, but be careful about who you're networking with. And
Ain't that the truth?
I really want to put a highlight on that because you'll see people on social media, and when you meet those people, they're not who they appear to be, or who um, the general audience or the general consensus is that they are. Um, so I think it's important, yes, to network, but be careful about who you attach yourself to.
Oh, let's go.
Let me ask you this then. What are some red flags that people can look out for then?
Some red flags would be people who do a lot of talking, but you never see their work. You never actually see them doing notary assignments, or you never actually see them, just in the field like the rest of us are. I think a lot of another red flag would be if you see them in certain, because you're vetting these people. Hopefully you're not just saying, hey, I like her hair, let me go ahead and network with her. So as you're looking at these different people, you're looking at Are they actually out in the field doing the work? Do they have are they continuing to educate themselves? Do they have mentors? I think different things of this nature is very important. And then if they're in proximity to you and you're able to connect with them, before you put them in front of a client, go have a cup of coffee with them, invite her to brunch or him to brunch or whatever, and sit down and kind of see if their idea, if their standard, their ethic is the same as yours, and make sure that you guys click, because like it was mentioned earlier today that, when the person goes out, they're representing you. So if someone calls Notary Nation and they're asking for a notary, and then I send them out and something goes wrong, or they're dressed crazy, or their language is crazy, or whatever the situation is, they're not going to contact them. That's going to come back on me. So just be careful about where you decide to, get cozy.
TEKK, you wanted to add something to that?
Yeah, those are good ones. Those are, yeah. Jesus Christ. Listen, I thought this was going to turn into a Cat Williams interview. She was going to start naming names.
I thought so too.
I could do that. I was instructed not to.
I thought you was going to go Cat Williams on me for real. Start the roasting.
Yeah, I'm going to say turn up. Steve Jobs, you know who that is. You mentioned him earlier. He said something very interesting. He said the quickest way to build a business, or the most efficient, stable way to build a business, is to be able to evaluate talent. You got to be an evaluator of talent, and you have to do it quickly, right? You can't spend a lot of time with the wrong person and then later, years down the road, find out that this is the wrong person. So the quicker you can evaluate somebody's, the faster you can replicate yourself, and the faster you can build, and the faster you can learn too. So with notaries, fortunately, if you are a professional person, upstanding person, if that's what you say you are, right, then you should be able to recognize that in people. So from the moment they pick up the phone, I can tell if this is somebody I'm going to work with instantly. I can instantly tell if this is somebody who I know I can work with this person. And here, for example, in Tiger and Don, you probably run into this all the time. When I've shown this on camera too. I'll say, I've got a one signature document in East or downtown. It pays $75. Are you available at 12:15 to do it? Very specific. If they can't answer that question, that's not the person I want to work with. Or this person might present some problem. They may present some hurdles that I didn't expect, and I don't even want to deal with that. I have a VIP client who's an executive assistant at a law firm, or they're just a family downtown at the hospital, and they need this power of attorney signed right now. I need to know that you can go in there with confidence and execute the organization without questions. I don't need you to go in there talking and explaining things and breaking down alter statements and breaking down AKA things. I don't need you to do all that. I need you to walk in there, stamp it, and go. Trademark that, Tiger. Because I've seen somebody try to use that, a variation of that. I'll show you that later on. But the stamp and go. Can you execute this? This is what's going to. So if I can evaluate that this person has a complete profile on Notary Cafe, it's not at 35%. They have a professional picture. This person. I'm not saying it has to be a headshot that's shot by the hottest photographer in Hollywood. I'm just saying it's not a selfie or something with you in a bottle. This is something that I will feel confident sending over to my grandmother's house so that you can execute this. And at the same time, you know how much you charge. So these things, this is how you can quickly evaluate talent. So that way, when you get a call and you're on a boat somewhere in Turks and Caicos, but you got a notary assignment going through, you can say, all right, I can find you a notary 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 hours, whatever it is. This looks like a good choice. And let me call them up. You can facilitate the deal. Boom. Keep it pushing. But then some people make it really complicated, and then they got to ask you all these questions. They got to interrogate you, and then they wonder why they can't get a deal. So you got to make it easy for yourself, but it should be easier when you can see your personality in other people or people that won't give you complications. Right? The paralegal, Tiger, right? This guy ran off with the money.
That's an interesting story. I'd like you to tell that story when you're ready, bro.
Yeah, I'll tell that story. Just know if you're a paralegal, put it this way: all the product knowledge in the world means nothing if you can't sell. I'm gonna just keep it at that. All these people are so smart, like Don was saying, just because you went to college and all this stuff. Just all the product knowledge, it means nothing if you don't know how to speak the language of business.
Yeah,
You can talk yourself out of business. This guy, this paralegal, he's going to be out of business in no time. As a matter of fact, he's trying to become a lawyer right now, so he's already out of business. But I should have, that's my fault though. That's on me.
So we have two more tips for you, and then we have a bonus power tip at the end. But before we go into the last three tips, we're going to take a word from our sponsor real quick.
Opus Clip turns your long form videos into short clips in one click.
Opus Clip is powered by AI, and it can create 30 clips in 15 minutes and outperform any manual video editing by saving 90% of time and tons of money. Opus Clip is so hot right now, it's like trying to get tickets to a Beyonce concert. So get Opus Clip now. Don't be the person who hears about it later and goes,
"Dang, I should have listened to Tiger Toledo."
Go ahead. Be the cool one in your squad. Try Opus Clip today for free. Just click the link in the description.
How many people are
so we're going to go into number 4, educate and empower. Position yourself as the authority in notarial matters. Educate your clients and community about the importance of notarization. Now, I could say that, when I came out the gate, I started making videos about the notary stuff for my clients early, just in case they were trying to search and like maybe power of attorney, and then I can give them some type of knowledge on power of attorney. And then, eventually I would get some phone calls on that, and clients would come in and be like, "Oh, I saw your video on," and I really got that from law firms, because I saw a lot of law firms creating videos on, this is what you do for a trust package, and this is what you do for a power of attorney. And I was like, heck, if a law firm could do it, I should be doing it too. So that definitely helped out clients. And I was able to, let's say if I was in a conversation with a client, I would tell the client, I'm going to send you a video explaining about power of attorney, so you can actually have a better understanding of what you're getting into, what you need to look out for. And they would watch the video, and that would help them out a lot. But Dawn, what would you say about that?
So I like that you, would give them videos and things of that nature. I do educate my customers. I do mostly apostilles, and so I have the opportunity to educate them, just because it's not an everyday thing that people hear. Even just the word, they don't even know how to say the word. Um, so I use the opportunity once they're in my office to educate them on different things. So an example would be a person who comes in, and on the phone they said they needed 10, right? And then when they came to the office, they said, "You know what? I only need 5. I think I'm just going to do 5." Then I'll take that as an opportunity to educate them on the reasons that they probably should go ahead and get what they initially said they needed. Um, Sometimes people will think that it's just as simple as going to the Secretary of State and then they can get it done. So I'll take the time to educate them on why they should have a professional do it, and how it's going to benefit them to go ahead and hire us to take care of it for them. So I use opportunities, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy seeing the light bulb go off, Just like in my
Mhm.
classes, when I teach my classes, you see someone has caught on to something, they learned it, they're excited. I love that, gives me a good feeling. And so, yes, educating the client is very important. Just make sure that they're a client first before you start helping them or educating them, because they'll take what they learn from you, call someone else, and then start trying to speak like the authority. So just keep in
Man.
mind that you had to be selective on, how you give out your jewels.
Woo, man, dog. You dropping a lot of teasers there. You know what I mean? You're dropping a lot of teasers. You're not really going into too much detail, but these are things that happen in the notary industry. It's the raw truth. Now, come on, please elaborate on that, because that is true. They'll take your information that you have. Let's be honest. If you are in first place and you are, really in these streets.